Kalani, when went into the decision with naming Taysom the starter?
Because he won the spot. That's pretty much how it was. I mean, going through the film, and I mean, Tanner did great too. It was a really good competition, but we felt like it was the right timing, and we talked about it over the weekend. They knew going into the weekend, so just I think the timing and letting you guys know about it. We would have done it yesterday, but we had no media, but really no secret anymore. But we're just really excited to get going, and Tanner will play, and so. He's not redshirting or anything like that. We'll just go with that and see how it goes this season.
What put Taysom over the top in the competition?
I don't know exactly if I can say it like one sentence, but there's a lot of different things that factor into it. And, production on the field is what wins, and we talked about how it would be settled on the field. So I'll just leave it at that. That the best guy won, and the great player was second place. So it's a great spot to be in, where we know we have two great ones competing for it, and we just felt like Taysom was the guy that earned the spot.
Easy or hard decision, Kalani?
Hard decision, really hard, because you have some guys that have good days and bad days, and consistency was one thing that we wanted to look at, and they both were really good consistently. So it's hard for us to sit there and say, okay, maybe the timing isn't correct, but we just felt like this was going to be right. And going into it, I think Tanner's way better now than he even was a year ago, just for that experience of being on the field. But there's some things that Tanner brings to the table that Taysom can't, and there's some things that Taysom does that Tanner can. We just feel like that for the team and where we sit right now, this is the right move for us.
Do you feel comfortable with your quarterback situation, having both those guys on the roster?
Yeah, who wouldn't? I mean, looking at the guys that we have, I've been saying it since day one that it's a great problem to have, and I don't see it as a problem. I think that having those guys compete and earn the spot the right way was a way to do it. And now that we're at the moment where we're close to the game and named a starter, I think this is the right way to handle it. Just settle on the field, and now let's move on and get ready for Arizona.
Is the way that Tanner handles it can set a tone that could be a positive direction for the team?
Yeah, and going into it, I really wasn't concerned with whoever lost the spot would be a problem. I thought that there would be, either one, whether it's Tanner or Taysom, would have handled it professionally, and that's what we're seeing right now. I mean, that's, they both love this school, they love this program, they love playing for BYU. So, that's just the way it worked. But if the shoe was on the other foot if it was reversed and Taysom lost the spot to Tanner, I think Taysom would have handled it perfectly and been professional about it, just like Tanner is.
The fact that one guy's a fifth-year senior, one guy's a sophomore, has to play into it too. I mean, Tanner's time is still ahead of him.
Yeah, and that factors into a little bit, but I mean, when you put it on the field, I think that's the main factor. You know what I mean? So, like I said, you're choosing between great and great, and so and now you have to. Their strengths are different, so it's hard to compare them. But at the same time, we can't dismiss the fact of the experience behind it all. But I wouldn't say that was the major factor. There's a bunch of them, but the most important one was handled on the field.
What do you want Tanner to learn being behind Taysom this year? What can Tanner learn from Taysom?
Well, all the great quarterbacks that have done it at this school and have done it in the professional ranks, so. I think he's already headed there. He's got great maturity about it, and I know that his time will come, and he knows it, and just being able to see what's happened in the past and in history already with quarterbacks that have been here and basically competed and then earned their spot and earned their time, and they flourish. So you really can't go wrong when you have a whole history and tradition behind it at that position.
When will you shut down fall camp and start game prep?
We've already done that a little bit. We started prepping for Arizona, and we're still conditioning a little bit and doing a few of the things that we're ironing out. But going through the game mechanics, we're going to have a scrimmage on Thursday and kind of work through the headsets and go through a full type of game. But the physical part has been handled mostly, and I feel really good about where we're at right now.
Arizona's keeping their quarterback selection secret, and Rich Rod has joked that he'll do it like a minute before the game. Does that cause any issues for you?
Not really. I mean, they have really good quarterbacks, and their system is set so that the guy has to be able to use his hands and throw the ball, but it also requires some movement and some athleticism from the quarterback position. being that spread system. So we're preparing for the same guy, and we have a great quarterback that gives that look on the scout team right now. So yeah, I think they have a similar problem where they have guys that have a strength and have weaknesses, and whatever suits their team and their formats are going to be what Rich Rod's going to go with, and we'll just prep for all of them.
Their AD was saying that BYU has sold more tickets to that game. What kind of statement do you think they could make, given what BYU is trying to accomplish conference-wise, if you guys had a huge crowd in that game?
Well, I think we're going to have, I mean, you know, Arizona, we have a lot of fans there, and it's close, and so a lot of people will travel and make the game. But, you know, being able to do these firesides and fan fests and seeing the support that we have all throughout the nation has been really impressive for me to see. And we'll have support, we'll have fans at every place that we play that plays college football. And so looking forward to seeing our fans at the Arizona game, and hopefully we'll give them a good show.
With the quarterback position now figured out, do you have other positions on the team that are still up for grabs, or is this depth chart pretty solid right now?
The depth chart's working through it. I think the quarterback one was something that we had to just get out there because you guys ask me every day. And so nobody's asking me who the starting, you know, middle linebacker and stuff like that is. So once you start asking that, maybe we'll answer them. But we'd like to have a depth chart out soon and go off of that. There's still some positions that, specifically the opposite corner of Mike Davis. That's one that they're still competing with, and we actually, you know, we're going to have some positions where we're going to play, you know, two guys, just so we can feel who the best guy is. Right now, there's some guys that aren't separating themselves, and so we'll play some really good ones to see who can show in the game.
Who's the starting middle linebacker?
Well, it's Butch Powell right now.
So
Smart Alley.
with that scrimmage then on Thursday, does that increase the importance of it, given the fact that you have some open competition?
Yeah, a little bit, but I think more than anything, the bulk of the practice leading up until probably next week, I'd like to have everything settled on Saturday. That's who's going to be taking the first snap in the Arizona game. But I think for the most part, we just need to see who can we trust to get reps in that game, because it's going to require more than just 11 guys on defense and offense, and that's what we're trying to get to the point now.
But you trust that you have guys that you can trust?
Yeah. There's a lot of guys there. Just a matter of who's going to be the one rotating in and who's going to be the third. That's what we're dealing with right now, and this is really no different than a lot of other places. And so we're just, you know, we're less than 2 weeks out, and so we're getting to that moment where we got to know who the rotating guys are and who the starting 11 will be.
When you chose your quarterback and made that decision, how much did you allow Ty to have autonomy versus your input?
Well, Ty is the offense coordinator and he's a quarterback's coach, and so he will have first say in everything that we do with our quarterback position, and then I'll give my opinions. But on this one, we were really on the same page. You know, that there really hasn't been much that he and I have really, I guess, seen. We've been on the same page with pretty much everything, and there's a few things that we you know, that we'll discuss and argue about, but that's just a given when you're dealing with putting together a football team. But in that one, there was no difference in opinion. And we actually the hard part was that we have really good players. I mean, if you got to get the best 11 out there, only one can sling the ball at the quarterback position. So we just know that Tanner's going to play, and you know, he's not going to redshirt. We're not going to save him. He's going to be a backup quarterback, and Taysom will be the starter.